In this video, we will look into the Kirinda project through the lens of materiality. We will discuss how the architect has employed a strict palette of materials and construction systems that met the limited budget and tight deadline of this rehabilitation project. At the same time, the project created opportunities for income generation to the local economy and responded to the requirements set by the residents themselves after direct consultations. Let's start with the most visible and dominant material that is used in the project, the compressed earth blocks, or simply CEBs. The main advantage of this material is that it does not require any skilled labor to produce and is a mixture of sun-baked clay and cement, both readily available through Sri Lanka at a low cost. But there's another major advantage of using CEBs. As a modular system, CEBs can easily be interlocked and built just like Lego blocks. This reduces the need for expensive and skilled labor during construction. The possibility of reusing CEB blocks in case of demolition also contributes to the environmental sustainability of the project. Now, alongside the use of CEBs, for almost all the wall surfaces, the architect chose to integrate prefabricated windows and fixed furniture components in the project. They were built with wood from locally sourced rubber trees that one can find in abundance across Sri Lanka. Although not a conventional construction material, here again, by using a local material, the costs of the project were reduced. The third most distinctive material used for the homes are clay tiles for the roofs that sit on top of timber trusses. Here again, the design responds to local material availability and results in a design that is culturally sensitive to local building patterns. In addition, to cope with the local climatic condition, the angle shape of the roofs with overhang helps to protect the dwellings during the monsoon season. With these three materials, all sourced locally in Sri Lanka, we can see an attempt to develop an innovative and durable design that combines local materials with Sijaruban's architectural signature, focusing on simplicity, functionality, and environmental sustainability. However, despite the architect's noble intentions, the design and choice of materials have also met some criticism by the residents since completing construction. Regarding the durability of the materials used, it has been argued that they have not kept up with the standards as promised in the two model houses that were used to gather the opinions and feedback from the residents. For example, some residents have complained about the quality of cement used to join the CEBs, whereas others have noted growing problems caused by the wood worm that have affected timber elements exposed to the rain. Secondly, a key feature in the design are the two shorter facades that partially comprise of wooden slats that allow for cross ventilation. However, it has been noted that these open slats compromise the dwelling's living comfort. They are not adequately protected by the overhanging roofs, not only allowing dust and insects to enter the house, but also rain during the heavy monsoon period, resulting in several residents adapting the design to mitigate this drawback. Thirdly, although the houses feature sloping roofs, they have not been provided with any gutters or rainwater downtake pipes. Thus, during the rainy season, rainwater simply runs off the roof to the ground, causing damage to the lower portions of the CEB walls. In fact, it is the CEB walls that raise most questions. As already mentioned earlier, the architect opted for the CEB construction technology for its low cost as well as its ease of assembly, allowing, in theory, for the inhabitants to easily make future adaptations to their houses. However, during interviews with residents, we noticed that the architect's material choice did not always meet the residents' aesthetic preferences. Not only did it prove difficult to convince beneficiaries of the appropriateness of utilizing CEBs, but it also seems that many residents have now made adaptations to their houses. Sometimes they changed the interior layout, or they added rooms to the fronts or sides. Furthermore, many have used fired bricks or cement blocks for such adaptations, rather than utilize CEBs as featured in the original design. Thus, one could argue that issues concerning durability and the aesthetic preferences of the residents have somehow compromised the architect's goal to highlight the benefits of using CEBs as a sustainable construction material for the region. More importantly, it may have compromised the goal of passing on new construction skills to the beneficiaries and potentially even developing a new economy for this material in that region. But while such criticisms must certainly be taken into account, we believe that Philip Bay and Sijero Ban's Kirinda project has become the benchmark by which other disaster relief projects can be measured. In fact, the Sri Lanka government routinely brings visiting delegations to Kirinda, using the reconstructed village as an example of best practices and even going to the extent of publicly stating that the project was the most professionally executed tsunami relief project in the country. With a focus on using local materials and methods to sensitively re-establish the village's cultural, social, and religious underpinnings, we would like to suggest that Sijero Ban's project exemplifies the convergence of architectural innovation, humanitarian principles, and sustainable design practices. By providing resilient and dignified housing for the tsunami-affected communities in Sri Lanka, the project not only meets immediate shelter needs, but also empowers residents to rebuild their lives and communities in a more resilient and sustainable manner.